going to talk about some of the mechanics of implementing that.
Hi everyone, my name is Ricardo Reyes. I just came back in July from Silicon Valley. I kind of run away from here, but I'm here to show you the love of learning. It's been in the Harvard Business Review, TechCrunch. You have Wall Street Journal, which is kind of a hard place to get science in. You have like NASA and of course Tesla and the wonderful Elon Musk. So I'm a weird case of scientist entrepreneur. We do a lot of stuff that we are very excited about, like finding new ways to measure donuts with calculus or something like that. But when you try to tell your friends how awesome it is, they normally don't join the party. Like, I don't know if you've been to a bar and you're like all excited and dancing, and I'm like that. I'm like, yeah, deep learning, man, deep learning. But then I have this friend who is just sitting down with his cell phone, like totally broken-hearted, and he says like, no man, I'm too busy selling ads, don't bother with me. So I normally get these questions, and I want to address these questions in this fast talk. Consciousness and then kill us all like in Terminator or the Avengers, and it's like, oh my god, I hate Hollywood so much, and it's like. I talk to other developer friends, and it's like, oh no, deep learning is something just Google or Tesla or big Silicon Valley companies can do. And it's like, man, I do that every day of my life. Like, I train neural networks daily. So I believe startups can do this. Another, especially with investors, is like, oh, it just seems too magical. Like, how can you just like take a picture and recognize what there is in the picture, like a tree or the beach, or that's just magical. Or when people actually know about artificial intelligence, they say like, oh, this is totally just another bubble like the 90s and the dot-com bubble, and it's going to burst sometime because there's so much hype about it. So it all started in the 56 with this awesome guy called Alan Turing. He brought to the mainstream this question of, can machines think? And it's a very broad question, and I don't have an answer for that, so I'm just going to skip it. We have, in the 1966, there was the war, like the Cold War. There was a lot of tension between the communists and the capitalists, and the US was trying to figure out what Russians were talking about, and they didn't have like a lot of Russian translators. So they just started to pour money into machine translation, but it failed because double sentence, and it's hard for machines to get Albur. Like, I've been trying for 5 years now to try to teach a computer to understand Albur, and I'm far away from it. But it failed, so they had like 20 million that time dollars, so a lot of money, and it's still an open research problem. Then you with all these cables and bolts and weird stuff. So in the 1957, they were really excited about it. But then this guy from MIT, Marvin Minsky, came out and wrote a book about how this was totally an awful idea. So we got into the AI winter where nobody wanted to invest into AI. But this has been around for years. So now we have these three awesome guys. If you want to be related to this, you should read about them. It's a Canadian called Jeffrey Hinton, a French guy from Facebook. Jeffrey Hinton is in Google. John LeCon is in Facebook, and Joshua Benju is roaming around somewhere, but he just released a book on deep learning, very interesting book. So now we have GPUs, which are just these nice chips that can process a lot of math in seconds. And we have big data from social networks because you all post pictures to Facebook. So I love when you post pictures to Facebook because you give me more data to train. So keep doing it, please. So everything changed in 2012 when there was this sort of image challenge where you have to classify 1,000 different kinds of images and tell us what was in the pictures. And it was won by an algorithm called AlexNet, which is like the first successful example of deep learning. And it was done by Geoffrey Hinton and other two awesome guys. But if you see here, I don't know if the graph is very clear, but the blue dots are like people who are not doing deep learning, and the green dots are people who are doing deep learning. So as you can see in 2012, it was a huge accuracy difference, which is the difference between awesome and annoying, the difference between Alexa and Siri and Google Now. Sorry, Apple and others. How does deep learning work? I have to introduce you to Elon and Jan, which are my imaginary cats. So you have Elon here. He lives in a flat world, so they don't have like 3D printers yet or anything. So he wants to go with Jan to drink some coffee. So he sends him the address, which is something like this. But there's a problem, like Jan is like British or something, I don't know. And he has like an inverted map. So it's very weird to get the coordinates right for Jan. So Elon is looking for a way to tell Jan how to get to the same point in a different coordinate system. So this representation of the movement is what we call a vector. And the dictionary or the conversion system, how you turn vectors in one system to another, it's called a matrix. Yeah. So this kind of matrix. It's just like how we transform. What we do all day is just curving hyperdimensional spaces all around until we can draw a line between. So let me explain you with more cats. If you see this, your brain probably can draw a line between the yellow cats and the gray cats, and it does it automatically. Like you don't have to make any effort. You can see the line where you can divide both groups. You can group them automatically, and you don't have to think about it. So if computers could do the same thing, so what we do is just we draw a random line, and then we try to tell it how wrong it is until it gets better and better and better and can draw an actual good line. So we do this by trial and error. That's why training neural networks takes such a long time, because we start randomly and then try to learn from the error to reduce it. And then this comes like if Elon wanted to give Jan this address by WhatsApp, he could just send him the equation of the line. So what you see here, this weird, very simple math. So you have y, which is the output, like where are you gonna end up, and x, that is like where are you starting on, and m is just like how slanted the line is, like if it's vertical or just like this or horizontal. It's how slanted the line is, and b is where in the north-south direction you start drawing. So that's how we get these nice lines. Okay, so here you have a more complicated cat problem where you wanna. Jan is starting a startup and he wants to make some market research of how to split where the gray cats live instead of the yellow ones. So you have a more complicated problem that you just can't draw one line. You have to draw multiple lines. So wouldn't it be awesome if we have like multiple lines? So that's how we discovered artificial neural networks. It's just like a bunch of lines in a hyperdimensional space. So we normally, when you map something, you have like latitude and longitude, and you have like a point in the map in 2 dimensions. If you added like altitude, you have like 3 dimensions. We do that like in 700,000 dimensions with a human, at least me, I can't imagine what 700,000 dimensions are like, but we do it anyways because math. So images are way more complicated than separating cats. But if you zoom out, like I believe solving problems sometimes is just a matter of perspective. So you just have to change your way of thinking about images. So for a human, this is like a natural image. But for a computer, they look at images differently. They have groups of red, blue, and green dots. So if you separate them, you can fit them to a deeper network, like this. This is a Google network. So just to end, we're building this product called Piktia, where it's stuck. I'm sorry. So this product is, you just upload your pictures to our app, And with deep learning, we recognize what's in your pictures, just like Google Photos does, and we print them in these very nice thematic scrapbooks. So you can put like vacations and Punta Mita, and we will select for you the best 20 shots that you took in Punta Mita, and make a scrapbook for you and send it to your home on an autonomous drone, which is really awesome. You just like order, and then a drone comes and drops the thing. And if the scrapbook is not cool, seeing the drone come here, it must be awesome. So visit Piktia.com. I don't know if you want to talk about this. So thank you.